Welcome to what I'm going to call EvE Online Tips for New Players. This is a series of videos that basically is intended to be the kind of thing that I wish that I had been able to find when I first started EvE. And I'm going to start right here at the very beginning of the new character creation, and we'll go from there. Now, this is the screen you see when you first start playing EvE, when you first start in the process of creating a new character, which is the first step. And you see here it says choose your race, and race I think is probably not the best term for it. It is more faction, because these guys are all human. In any event, we've got 4 factions to choose from. We have the Minmatar, we have the Kaldari. You click here and it tells you. Founded on the tenets of patriotism and hard work and corporate dictatorship and so on. That's what the Kaldari is. It's basically business and profit. Okay, come over here to the Galente, and each one of these, by the way, has a video that will play. I've got it paused, but a new player coming in for the first time, you click on one of these and this little video will start and it will tell you about the individual faction. Now, the Galente, champions of liberty, defenders of the downtrodden, and basically a true democracy and so on. At least that's what they say it is. I don't know. I've heard people say that the Galente are all about party. I don't know about that. Anyway, now here we've got the Amar. This is a theocracy, a theocratic society. It's basically a religious dictatorship. Doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's what it is. It's flavor text. It's telling you about the history. There is a lot of lore and history in this game, and it covers a lot, and there's more of it created all the time by players and by the game developers at CCP. Now, the Minmatar, this is a tribal civilization, former slaves of the Amar, and so you can see there's some bad blood there, and so on. So once you choose the race, and for this one, I'm going to go ahead and choose Galente, and I have a reason for that, which I will get into a little bit later. So we'll go ahead and hit next. And next up, you get to choose your bloodline, which is basically 3 main different types and appearances. Now, this choice only affects the basic appearance of your character. So we've got the Entake, the Galente, Jinmei, and if you click on any one of these, down here you get some more text that tells you a little bit about that particular culture and so on. And it's good fuel for role play stuff if you want to do that and so on. And of course you can choose to be male, or you can choose to be female. And I'm going to make a female character for this one, and there's a word about that too. There are a lot of female characters in EvE Online, and there are even a number of them played by females, and there's a number of male characters played by females as well as by males. So what a character's gender is, I would say go with what they role play the character as, what the character looks like, unless and until you have reason to do otherwise. And really, there isn't really much reason to do otherwise. Not really. Okay, so we hit next at this stage, and this is where you get to really customize the character. You can use the mouse wheel to scroll in and out. And let's see, you can adjust the muscularity of the character's weight, and you can also hit this to randomize. And so on, like so. And then you can go complexion. You can make different combinations there. You've got 3 sliders with 3 spots each, I think it is. Yes. And so you've got a number of possible combinations. You can make a selection here for overall complexion and skin tone, and so on. And there we go. And then there's the eyes. There's several different types and appearances of eye. So let's go here. We'll turn the color. We'll zoom in. And that adjusts the eye color a bit here. I'm going to go with this reddish looking color here. And then down here you get to choose hair color, eyebrow color, and then hairstyle. Anywhere from totally bald to longer hair, and so on. You've got a lot of choices. Colors, styles. And then the same thing with the eyebrows, different styles, and you can adjust the color of that. And then down here there are all kinds of different colors for eyeshadow, eyeliner, blush, lipstick. And with a male character, you're going to have additional hair options for facial hair, beards, and so on. And then down here you've got clothes, outer clothes, and tops, which would go underneath, and then bottom part. Zoom out. There's a number of possible choices there. And all of this part of creation, it's purely aesthetic. It's not absolutely necessary to have any one particular thing. You just customize it the way you want. Feet, what kind of footwear you want your character to be wearing, and so on. Glasses. There can be glasses or not, either way. But you can click here. If you decide you don't want the glasses, you can click the X to make them go away. Let's see. I'm going to go with that. Body modifications, and here's where you can get really weird. Put in piercings in the eyebrows, the nose, ears high up, the ears low, on the lips, the chin, and then you can get into tattoos of various and sundry different kinds and colors and so on. Scars you can put in, and prosthetics. Prosthetics seems to be an option that doesn't seem to do anything. Now, I'm going to go up here to tattoos, and I'm going to click X to turn that off because I don't think that looks very good at all. Okay, and then once you're satisfied with all this about how the character appears, and by the way, when you see a character that is go up there to shape, you see a character that is shaped like that, it was probably made by a guy. And you can of course, while you're working on body, you can shape any individual part in many different ways, and so on. And then when you're finally satisfied with the look of the character, click Next. Now this is where we get to the portrait. And this is the character portrait. This is the one part of your character's appearance that more people will see than anything else. And so up here, choose a background. There are a lot of backgrounds. I think that looks kind of cool. Okay, and then down here, poses. I think there's 6 poses possible. Again, mouse wheel scroll in and out. And lighting, different lighting settings. Along with the lighting setting, you've got the intensity. And there are different colors that you can give the lighting. You can cycle through 7 different lighting colors. There's subtle different changes. And then when you're satisfied, you come over here and click that and take a portrait. And say maybe you want to try a different background. Click that. Come over here and let's adjust the pose a little bit. And let's darken the lights down some. Turn the intensity down. Change the angle. And then come over here and click portrait. We've got another portrait. And so on. You can do that up to 4 portraits. If you don't want to, you can reset it and try it differently. And then when you're done and you're satisfied, you take the portrait that you want to use, that you finally decide on, and click that one. And that becomes your active portrait. And then you come down here and you click Next. And that's the portrait you've chosen. And now we're getting to the point, okay, choose your ancestry. You've got 3 ancestry options for each of the 3 bloodlines. And so you choose, actually, whichever one that the text appeals to you most. It doesn't change the look of your character. It's a little bit of historical background. And so whichever one of these you choose, it all depends on what you think of. It doesn't affect anything in game. Now the 2 parts of this process that does affect something in game is that the very beginning, when you choose which of the 4 factions you want to get into, and at this point where you choose your education. Now I'm bringing this up because what this affects is the starter corporation that you end up in. Now I didn't know this when I first made my first character on EvE, but some starter the starter corporations are different, and that I know of. The one that I managed to end up in by pure blind dumb luck turned out to be a really good corporation. And that is this one, the Center for Advanced Studies, also known as CAS. And in order to become part of that corporation, there are 2 choices you have to make in character creation. Number 1 is to be Galente, and number 2, at this page right here, is to choose Center for Advanced Studies. And that will put you in what I personally believe is probably the best newbie corporation. And there is a lot of very experienced people in that corporation. They're very helpful. They have proven to be extremely helpful to me without being condescending or making light or making fun of one's difficulties and not understanding stuff and needing help with things. They are actually quite willing to help. And then the final thing to do here is to choose a name. It has to be unique, and so on. And because these names are such that they never go away in CCP's database, once I choose a name here and it is available and I actually get it, then nobody else can ever choose that name. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm going to put 314. No, I'm going to put 3.14. And then for a family name, I'm just going to randomize. I'm going to just randomize instead of coming up with something unique, because I'm terrible at coming up with names. So we'll hit check availability. It contains illegal characters. Can't have a decimal point in there. Okay. So we'll get rid of that, and we'll call it 3142859. Okay, check availability. Green check mark means it's available. And so at this point, I'm going to hit finalize. And it asks to confirm you want to use this picture as the portrait. Sure, why not? All right. Character is done. The character is created. And here we are showing up in station. And I'm going to go ahead and end the video right here and pick up the next video in this spot to cover the introductory missions with Aura. These are some of the very, very first missions that take you from this point to where you finally arrive at your main corporate station and get ready to do the career tutorial missions. Thanks for watching. Take it easy. I'm out of here.